Alright, so the system plotline finally ends, but our main character overhears something low-key heartbreaking. His daughter is literally saying she is glad they do not have to act for Dad anymore. And she wants Uncle Mo to move in openly. Talk about a major plot twist. She cheers and claps, spinning around while saying they do not want their dad anymore. He turns around and throws away the gifts. Since they do not want him, he is done. He is completely done, holding a custom cake box tightly in his hands. Standing outside his daughter's room, the closed door cannot block out their conversation. Qin Yue asks her mom in a sweet voice if she will finally stop getting sick. Liu Ruyan answers with rare gentleness that the plot is over, so no more accidents will happen. The kid is safe from sudden illnesses, but she immediately asks about Uncle Mo. Qin Yue asks eagerly, blaming everything on her dad. He made Uncle Mo hide in the shadows just to see them. Without Dad, they would not have to do things they hate, and Mom could be happy. She asks her mom to divorce Dad now that the story is finally over. His hands tighten around the gift box, the sharp ribbon cutting into his skin. The box holds a custom fondant cake he ordered a month ago. It is the exact style Qin Yue always wanted, but the room falls quiet. Liu Ruyan hesitates for a moment before promising her daughter she will divorce him. Since today is her birthday, she will break the news in a few days. Hearing his daughter cheer through the door, he feels a cold shiver down his spine. 8 years ago, he struck a deal with the system to save them. He had to enter this virtual world and act out a script for 8 long years. Any deviation from the plot would trigger severe punishment. The system would punish him with sudden, painful sickness, or even fatal accidents. He had to follow the plot to earn points to heal them. He was far from a perfect host in this bizarre virtual world. From meeting her at 25 to marrying and having Qin Yue at 30. He struggled through it all, barely reaching the end of the timeline. But then, Liu Ruyan grew tired of him, and his health began to fail. As his daughter in this world, little Qin Yue was also affected. She had to endure 1/10 of his agonizing pain. Watching her cry day and night while growing weaker broke his heart. With his heart shattered, he decided to take a massive risk. He confessed everything about the system to Liu Ruyan, warning her he would die. Both he and Qin Yue would die unless they finished the plotline. At that time, they still had 5 more years of acting left. Liu Ruyan reluctantly stayed by his side, though they fought constantly. She always blamed him whenever he and the kid got sick together. He felt deeply guilty, but Qin Yue always took her medicine and listened. They grew closer, and then boom, the system finally announced the end. Overjoyed, he immediately rushed to share the amazing news with her. Finally, they could escape the system's control and be free. He could finally leave this fake world and return to reality. But he could not leave his daughter alone, choosing to stay for her. But reality hits hard, completely shattering every single dream he had. This is wild. Alright, so our MC turns around, chucks the gift box straight into the trash, and walks right in without hesitating. He looks at his wife and coldly tells her that he agrees to the divorce. But looking at his daughter, Qin Yue, he has to suppress the absolute rage boiling inside him. He tells her that he had no idea she loved Uncle Mo this much, or that she hated being his daughter so much that she endured system punishments just to escape him. He says it is all his fault, while a look of exposed guilt flashes across Qin Yue's face. Honestly, this ungrateful kid is a terrible liar and cannot even hide her real thoughts. She is just too obvious about where her loyalty actually lies. She literally glares and accuses him of eavesdropping, yelling that he is just a bad father. And that is why she hates him. Bro, even though he expected this, it still hurts. Hearing his own flesh and blood say she despises him is low-key heartbreaking. His wife, Liu Ruyan, looks slightly taken aback by the divorce agreement, but she does not object. After a brief silence, she just nods her head and agrees.
She says okay and apologizes that Qin Yue lied to him for so long.
She promises to have her lawyers draft the papers and offers him any compensation he wants. She wants to wrap this up fast because she owes Mo Lin way too much. She cannot wait to compensate her lover, while Qin Yue just snorts in agreement. The daughter loudly chimes in, saying Uncle Mo is actually the best person ever.
She whines that her dad always targeted him, and she does not want a father like him anymore.
At this point, our MC is completely checked out. He remembers how a few years ago Mo Lin targeted him. Mo Lin literally tried to ruin his life and almost got Qin Yue killed. Even without the system plot forcing Mo Lin away, he did everything to protect his daughter. He thought he finally kicked the villain out, but turns out he was completely played. Suddenly, the system blares in his head with a massive warning about a plot deviation. The characters have drifted completely off script, and a painful ringing explodes in his brain. The system orders him to fix the plot within 7 days. Otherwise, the story will be forcibly terminated, making him clutch his head in pure agony. He panics, questioning how this is possible when the plot was supposed to be over. The system wakes up and apologizes, admitting that they both got completely played. Since the system only monitors his perspective, they did not anticipate the characters lying to them. The system admits it made a massive mistake by trusting these NPCs. But since the system failed to notice the glitch, it agrees to take responsibility. Even if he fails to fix the plot within 7 days, he will still get his points. Hearing this, our MC finally breathes a sigh of relief. When he snaps back to reality, his wife and daughter are staring at him suspiciously. They know that whenever he spaces out like this, he is talking to the system. His wife immediately asks if the system is back and what is happening. She sounds super anxious, demanding to know if the story's not actually over. She frantically asks if the system is going to punish her daughter and Mo Lin. Beside her, Qin Yue covers her mouth in pure panic. What a joke, honestly.
He waits for a moment, looking at this pathetic mother and daughter duo.
They do not care about him at all, so he just bitterly laughs and tells them no. He wishes Qin Yue a happy birthday, saying her gift is the ultimate freedom from him. At this point, he decides to completely abandon the mission and just wait 7 days. Once the timer runs out, he will be safely sent back to his real world. Seeing the cold look on Liu Ruyan and Qin Yue's faces, our main character finally makes up his mind. 8 years of sacrifice completely down the drain, and honestly, Liu Ruyan can't wait a single second longer to throw him out. She literally bypasses the 30-day cooling-off period, going straight to court to sue. Once the papers are signed, he packs up a few clothes and gets ready to leave. But before stepping out, he can't help but ask his daughter Qin Yue if she would miss him. Will she? No shot. The little girl is completely glued to her tablet screen. Without even looking up, she complains about why he is pulling this emotional stunt again. She accuses him of using this exact trick to drive away Uncle Mo and force her mom to stay. Now he is trying to guilt-trip her too, and hearing this absolutely freezes him in his tracks. I mean, yes, he did say he would disappear if the plot deviated too much. But he never mentioned that the entire world would collapse and fade away with him. As a transmigrated system host, he was actually supposed to work alongside them, but he kept the truth completely quiet to avoid putting too much stress on them. So he kept the truth hidden and quietly apologizes, telling her he shouldn't have brought it up. He speaks softly, letting her know that this time, he is actually leaving for good. She snaps, asking if he is ever going to shut up before throwing her tablet straight at him. Her face is twisted in pure annoyance as she tells him to just get out. He doesn't even dodge, letting the tablet smack his forehead as a wave of bitter defeat washes over him. Holding his bruised forehead, a sudden wave of dizziness hits him. His senses begin to fade, showing that the plot has drifted way too far off course. Taking a deep breath, he tries to gently pat his daughter's head one last time. But she quickly flinches away, moving to the corner to keep ignoring him. He sighs, telling her she will be fine since she still has Uncle Mo. He steps outside and waits by the road, knowing that Man will take care of her now. Suddenly, a high-end luxury business car speeds up and pulls over right next to him. The window rolls down to reveal a very familiar and incredibly smug face. It's Mo Lin, the ex-wife's original lover, whom our main character was supposed to replace as the lead. His mission was to make Liu Ruyan forget this guy and fall for him instead. But yeah, he failed miserably, getting played by both of them the entire time. Mo Lin gives a smug laugh, calls out to Qin Wu, and proudly flaunts a shining wedding ring. He brags that he is marrying Liu Ruyan the day after tomorrow and invites him to come. Looking at that familiar wedding ring, his heart literally drops into his stomach. Back then, the system practically ordered him to wear that exact ring for their wedding. But Liu Ruyan complained it was too cheap for him, and he thought it wasn't a big deal. So he broke the script and wore the matching ring she picked instead. And the very next day, he got hit by a car as a punishment from the system. He spent an entire week in the hospital, completely confused as to why the punishment was so harsh. I mean, was a tiny change in ring styles really worth getting nearly killed over? Unbelievable. But now he gets it. That ring was a vital plot item all along. It was never about the ring being too cheap. He just wasn't the intended lead. He quietly offers his congratulations as his vision suddenly begins to blur again. That heavy, uncontrollable dizziness returns, and at this rate, things are looking bad. He won't even make it 7 days before being kicked out of this world entirely. Mo Lin mocks him, saying he heard he is threatening to disappear again now that the main story is finally over. He laughs it off as a desperate joke, completely ignored by our main character. Honestly, the plot is broken beyond repair, and this entire world is about to go down with him. With 6 days left, our guy stops looking for a house. Instead, he checks straight into a 5-star hotel's presidential suite. Since he is waiting for the plot to collapse, might as well live it up. The system suddenly chimes in, saying plot monitoring depends entirely on his perspective.
He watches the news of Liu Ruyan's upcoming wedding on the television.
Giving a quiet reply, he shuts off the TV and opens his phone. Every major financial outlet is hyping up their massive power couple alliance. Honestly, they are so impatient, it is almost funny. They want the whole world to witness the wedding of the century. The system explains that he must witness Liu Ruyan and Mo Lin's wedding. Only then can it evaluate the plot. At dawn, he raises an eyebrow. He sits up. I wonder he did not feel any system luck today. "Are you trying to mess with me, system?" he asks helplessly.
The system goes silent before promising it will apply for an upgrade.
But without this system, with your abilities, you would have failed. Talk about savage. Even the system is roasting him, leaving him completely speechless. The system's mechanical voice softens slightly, urging him to witness the plot quickly. It reminds him he can leave this world soon. 5 days left. Dressed in a tailored dark blue suit, he heads to the wedding venue. The ceremony is held at the top of the city's tallest skyscraper. Clear skies, absolutely stunning view. The venue is a corporate elite paradise packed with high society names. Worried he might feel embarrassed, the system suggests wearing sunglasses. He can just pretend he does not know anyone, but he refuses. He finds a seat near the front and waits for things to start. From this angle, he should be able to get a perfect view. He wants to see Liu Ruyan and Mo Lin's expressions. The system is exceptionally talkative. Our guy shakes his head, telling the system that they do not care. Honestly, he feels relieved, even if it still hurts a bit. But he is mostly excited to go back home. He grabs a napkin. With a few quick folds, he makes a simple stock line chart. Whenever his daughter threw tantrums, he would use this to tell stories, to calm her down. And luckily, he has not lost his touch. Suddenly, a familiar voice calls out from behind him, asking, "Daddy? Why are you here?" He turns. He sees Qin Yue in a pink princess dress and reflexively reacts.
His hand stops halfway as he pulls it back under her watchful gaze.
Clutching her dress tightly, she asks him with complete innocence,
"You are not here to stop Mommy and Uncle Mo again, right?"
As the surrounding guests stare, he just smiles and says she got it wrong. He tells her that Uncle Mo personally invited him to the wedding. Qin Yue freezes, completely caught off guard. Honestly, she did not expect that. She scratches her head and spots the paper in his hand, asking what it is. She reaches out to grab it, but he quickly pulls it away.
He gently nudges Qin Yue back, telling her that this is not a toy.
"You can't just take that," Qin Yue says, her eyes wide with greed. She lunges right at him, begging her dad to let her see it. Qin Wuyan lifts the paper up, but someone suddenly snatches it from behind. He looks up to find Liu Ruyan standing there in her pure white gown. Creeping up behind him, she takes the paper to inspect it closely. She glares down at him, Qin Wuyan.
Using cheap paper tricks to win over the kid is incredibly pathetic, she scoffs.
Qin Wuyan stands up and snatches his paper back, staring at her with total ice. He coldly tells her it is for his real daughter, leaving her absolutely speechless. But then she just laughs in his face, asking if he has lost his mind. First he claimed he was going to disappear, and now he is inventing a real-world daughter.
She asks mockingly if he's going to claim he has a real wife next.
Or that if she stays with Mo Lin, he vanishes. To go back to his so-called real family as if it is some big joke.
Honestly, this ex-wife is so delusional, telling him he is never escaping her grasp.
He can only sit back and watch her live happily ever after with Mo Lin.
Qin Wuyan does not even bother arguing and just quietly sits back down.
Liu Ruyan grabs the kid and walks away, throwing one last dirty look his way. As the crowd whispers about him, he just sits in silence, waiting for the end. Then Mo Lin shows up looking sharp in a black suit, offering a fake polite smile. Liu Ruyan looks at him with pure devotion as the romantic music starts playing. Right on cue, Mo Lin drops to one knee to propose, sealing it with a kiss.
Suddenly, a massive system alarm blares in his head, making him extremely dizzy.
His chest tightens, organs failing.
He forces himself to stay conscious as little Qin Yue runs out holding flower petals.
She happily skips around the venue, shouting out to her new dad, Mo Lin.
The kid leaps right into Mo Lin's arms while Liu Ruyan watches with pure adoration.
Mo Lin just laughs it off, saying she is being a little too wild today.
Suddenly, the system screen flashes a red warning that the plot is literally collapsing.
He completely ignores it.
Leaning back, he studies his wife's face. She was always so emotionally guarded before. Even during their best times, she never looked this genuinely happy with him.
It makes no sense. But then again, human feelings are impossible to predict.
Wait, this actually makes so much sense. The system needs real humans for the angst.
The system chimes in again, warning him that the plot deviation is hitting critical limits.
This storyline is totally broken, and any more changes will trigger an instant exit.
He could be ripped away any second now, but he just quietly nods along.
The system gently asks if he has any final words or unfinished business left. Because if he waits any longer, his time in this world will run out. Looking at his ex-wife and daughter smiling, he finally lets go of his regrets.
Nothing left to say.
He tells the system to just take him home whenever it is ready. But wait! Plot twist! Mo Lin opens the ring box and it is completely empty.
Instantly, Mo Lin glares directly at him, and a panicked Liu Ruyan stops the music.
The ring is gone, and suddenly every guest in the room turns to glare at him. Countless judging eyes pierce right through Qin Wuyan, and his daughter Qin Yue is the first to react. Her high-pitched voice rings out, saying she just took the flower basket to find her dad. A furious Liu Ruyan demands that Qin Wuyan stop messing around and just hand over the ring. Meanwhile, Mo Lin tries to act calm, suggesting that the president is probably just playing a joke. Actually, Qin Wuyan does not even have the strength left to stand up or defend himself. His silence completely triggers Liu Ruyan, who screams that she knew he was lying all along. She storms over to his side and grabs his arm with a painfully tight grip. She yells that attending was a lie, and he only came to ruin her wedding with Mo Lin. Calling him disgusting, she glares while he uses all his remaining strength just to squeeze out a bitter smile. Little Qin Yue runs over, hitting his leg with her tiny hands and calling him a bad dad. She cries that he always ruins everything, hurts people, and destroys their happiness. She screams for him to disappear, and right as she yells this, everything suddenly freezes. Time stops. In an instant, all of Qin Wuyan's physical pain, dizziness, and heavy sadness completely vanish. The entire room locks up, freezing every single person mid-motion. A system warning flashes, announcing the plot has collapsed and the host will be ejected in 5 seconds. As the robotic voice calmly counts down, Qin Wuyan watches his own consciousness begin to fade. His soul slowly drifts out of his body, while Liu Ruyan still holds his arm tightly. Her fingertips are red from squeezing, which would normally hurt him immensely. At count 4, little Qin Yue is frozen, looking like a furious little beast. Her face is flushed and teeth clenched. Her tiny fist is stopped midair. At count 3, Mo Lin's eyes are glowing with twisted excitement. Standing on the stage, he looks down at this drama while his inner suit pocket bulges ever so slightly. Qin Wuyan finally realizes that the missing ring was actually hidden on Mo Lin the entire time. Genius move, but honestly, what a snake. I mean, who would ever suspect the groom of hiding his own wedding ring? Qin Wuyan floats around, seeing the absolute disgust on the faces of all the wedding guests. Honestly, this is low-key heartbreaking. He spent his whole life being treated like complete garbage. He sighs to himself, knowing he truly tried his absolute best. He blinks, trying to make sense of everything. When he opens his eyes again, he demands to know why his soul is still trapped here. The system tells him another bug occurred. It explains that because the original plot collapsed way faster than anyone expected, things are glitched. They are 4 days ahead of schedule, meaning the exit portal is not even ready yet. Annoyed, he asks if he must return. But the system surprisingly comes through, confirming he does not have to enter his body again. He can stay as a spirit for 24 hours, and the system even unlocks a special free roaming mode. He can wander around as a ghost, prompting him to offer a very sarcastic thank you. The system says you are welcome, and its robotic voice fades away. It reminds him to leave a 5-star review before he suddenly finds himself floating in midair. Just like that, the frozen world snaps back to life, and the noisy room is suddenly deafening. Liu Ruyan's angry glare and Qin Yue's screams resume. Mo Lin's smug sneer is back too, and Liu Ruyan stands up, immediately shouting at him. Since his soul left his body, Qin Wuyan's physical shell collapses straight onto the floor. Liu Ruyan catches his waist, snapping at him to stop playing dumb.
She shakes Qin Wuyan, squeezing his arm fiercely as if she could pinch him awake.
She snaps. What on earth do you even want? Please stop torturing me and Ye.
Little Qin Yue stops patting him. He looks up in pure confusion. Kids do not understand these toxic adult mind games. He just feels like his dad is being way too quiet. Something is definitely off. With no response, the poor kid hesitantly pokes his dad's thigh with one tiny finger. See, this was their wholesome little secret. Every time our MC pretended to sleep, his son would tickle him. He is super ticklish, so he would immediately burst out laughing. But this time, no matter how much his son pokes him, he does not budge.
Eyes shut, no response. This is getting seriously scary.
Terrified, Qin Yue starts crying. He tugs at his mother Liu Ruyan's dress for help.
He gasps for his dad, but Liu Ruyan instantly snaps at him to shut up. She mutters that she babied him way too much. Now he thinks he can play these cheap stunts anytime. She coldly tells Qin Wuyan to keep acting if he wants. She is done playing his games. With an icy look, she completely lets go of his arm. Not a single shred of hesitation.
She genuinely thinks he is just faking, and that once she lets go,
his survival instincts will instantly kick in, forcing him to catch himself before hitting the floor. That way, she can finally expose his lie. But honestly, his soul has already left that broken shell. His body crashes heavily onto the floor, completely defenseless. His head slams and bounces slightly on the impact. It hits the hard floor again, a completely pathetic sight. Even our MC's ghost feels sorry for himself. Leaving this world like this is low-key heartbreaking. The crowd immediately starts screaming. Some shout to call their private doctor, while others call the police. Some cloud chasers even whip out their phones. Like, seriously, have people no shame? Meanwhile, Liu Ruyan still wears that smug face. She thinks she has seen through him. Little Qin Yue throws himself over his father's body. He screams in absolute terror, yet she stays completely unfazed. Mo Lin rushes over. He checks for a pulse. Even then, Liu Ruyan's cold expression does not change. Suddenly, someone screams. He is dead! Does anyone know CPR? That is when she finally reacts. She finally looks down. Right then, the private medical team quickly bursts into the crowded room. They wheel our MC and his unconscious son away. Liu Ruyan just stands there like a statue. The medics ask if any family members are coming along, but absolutely nobody steps forward to help. They just speed off. Our MC's spirit is left floating there, completely lost. He is torn between following the ambulance or staying. Honestly, Liu Ruyan's cold, blank face is actually terrifying right now. Nobody dares to go near her. Frankly, even Mo Lin keeps his distance. Once the guests finally clear out, she finally seems to snap out of it. Our MC floats right in front of her. He studies her out of sheer curiosity. Her face is just as stunning as it was 8 years ago, but there is a strange, unreadable sadness there that he cannot understand.
What could she possibly be grieving? Honestly, she is probably just annoyed that he used to cling to her so much.
After all, he was just a business partner she hired, basically an employee.
Yet he somehow forced himself into her life. His early attempts to get close were super clumsy.
He used to set up fake run-ins, trying way too hard to show off his talents. She would just scoff and mock him, calling his desperate efforts totally useless. But she always played along anyway. For a split second, he actually felt a spark. He honestly thought he was winning her over, until Mo Lin showed up and ruined everything.
She began pushing him away, especially after he made the massive mistake of telling her about his system.
Just like that, a massive and completely impenetrable wall was built between them overnight. He tried everything to tear it down, but she just kept building it higher.
And she did this despite him raising Qin Yue with real, genuine love for 8 years. Even his own daughter, who he went through hell for, starts questioning his love.
Honestly, this twisted ending is probably exactly what this toxic duo always wanted.
Qin Yue is still very young, just terrified of losing Mo Lin.
Normally, a little comfort would fix her right up, but why does Liu Ruyan look so completely miserable now? Floating right up to Liu Ruyan, Qin Wuyan sees her eyelashes trembling slightly. Tears stain her face as her lips tremble. It is like she wants to laugh, but is about to cry, only whispering Qin Wuyan after a long silence. Is he really gone this time? No, there is no way. He must be tricking her again, she thinks, suddenly snapping her head up.
Like a total madwoman, she grabs her keys and races straight to the clinic. But by the time they arrive,
the doctor has already officially confirmed Qin Wuyan is completely brain dead. There is no saving him now. Their daughter Qin Yue is awake now, sobbing uncontrollably and begging over and over for her dad not to leave.
She begs him not to disappear while the nurses desperately try to calm her down.
But the staff just heard that right before he died, Qin Yue was screaming at him, saying she wished he would disappear. Talk about an awkward silence. The nurses stop comforting her immediately, and honestly, nobody can even blame them.
Seeing Liu Ruyan walk in, Qin Yue runs over crying like her mother is some kind of savior. She screams that they won't save him, claiming her dad is already dead.
Mom, it has to be because we were bad to him. That is why he died. Liu Ruyan's eyes are completely bloodshot, her face frozen stiff. Bro, she literally cannot accept this as she shoves past everyone and bursts into the emergency room. Qin Wuyan is just lying there, completely lifeless on the cold bed as the doctor shakes his head. The doctor pats her shoulder, telling her to accept the loss, but she desperately grabs his wrist, refusing to let go. Ain't no way, she screams. He has a game system? How could he possibly die this easily? The doctor stares at her like she has lost her mind, asking what system she is talking about. Liu Ruyan freezes, muttering that it is the system and that he only dies if she stops loving him. She keeps rambling about this system while the doctor's face gets more and more concerned. Stepping back slowly to keep his distance, the doctor quietly asks her if she actually loves him.
As Liu Ruyan looks down in silence, the doctor immediately seizes his chance.
He pulls his hand away and backs off even further, asking if she is even related to the patient. The patient is officially dead, so she needs to start planning the funeral as soon as possible. Liu Ruyan just stares at him in complete disbelief, arguing that the doctor does not understand her.
She keeps shouting about this system until the doctor finally snaps, unable to take her delusions anymore.
During the chaotic emergency room rush, the staff already saw right through her pathetic act. The doctor looks incredibly uncomfortable and coldly tells her, "Look, lady, I have no idea what system you are talking about."
And second, as far as I know, this man literally died while you were marrying someone else.
With that, the doctor walks away, leaving her staring blankly at Qin Wuyan's cold body. She suddenly bursts out laughing, saying, "All right, Qin Wuyan, you seriously scared me this time." "You win," she says. "I won't marry Mo Lin anymore. Is that what you wanted?" "Can you please wake up now?" she begs, walking right up to his bedside.
She gently pinches his cheek, whispering, "Hey, system, I know you can hear me."
Bring Qin Wuyan back, because our daughter absolutely cannot live without her father. But obviously there is no response, leaving Liu Ruyan talking to herself in the empty room. At this point, she is completely lost in her own delusion, refusing to accept that he is actually gone. Qin Wuyan's ghost just floats out of the ward, seeing little Qin Yue curled up on a chair. Qin Yue is crying his eyes out, and of course Mo Lin shows up after a quick outfit change. He sits right next to Qin Yue, wrapping him in a gentle, fake uncle hug.
Sobbing, Qin Yue throws himself into Mo Lin's arms, crying that his dad is gone.
"What should I do?" he asks, while Mo Lin's face gets incredibly complicated. Patting the boy's back, Mo Lin whispers not to worry, because Uncle Mo is right here. Qin Yue lifts his tear-stained face and tells his uncle that he just remembered something very important. "Dad never even touched that ring box in the first place. It was you who made me take it to him." Losing the ring had nothing to do with Dad, he says, making Mo Lin freeze instantly. Totally panicking, Mo Lin looks away and quickly agrees that he also believes the dad was completely innocent. Qin Yue won't let it go, sobbing that his dad is dead. Because Mom and I didn't trust him, he cries. Our ghost MC watches, realizing this kid is way more sensitive than Liu Ruyan.
He's actually highly perceptive, but just too young and easily manipulated by these bad actors.
Mo Lin forces a weak smile, asking the kid what on earth he is talking about.
Your dad died of a sudden heart attack, he lies, but Qin Yue just stares at him stubbornly.
Dad was killed by me, Mom, and you, Uncle Mo, the kid says flatly. Mo Lin's calm face instantly crumbles as he notices the nearby crowd starting to stare and whisper. Hearing their quiet whispers, Mo Lin raises his voice to cut the kid off. Trying to silence him, he snaps that the dad insisted on coming to the wedding. He died because he couldn't handle the shock, so how could it have anything to do with me? Qin Yue has never been one to back down, and he violently shoves Mo Lin away. Jumping to the ground, he screams that Uncle Mo was the one who told him to provoke his dad. That's why Dad died, and Uncle Mo, Mom, and I are all to blame. The three of us knew that if we did not love Dad, he would die. A child's voice is naturally piercing, and his words cut right through the room. Even the people pretending to look at their phones in the corner freeze in shock. Everyone glares at Mo Lin in utter disbelief while he desperately tries to cover the kid's mouth. But it is already too late as Qin Yue bawls out to everyone that they killed his dad. With his dad dead, Mo Lin can only curse inwardly. He had warned Liu Ruyan ages ago never to mention the system to a kid like Qin Yue. An emotional little kid could never actually help them pull off a stunt like tricking the system anyway. But Liu Ruyan kept insisting that Qin Yue was mature enough, arguing that people are much more likely to believe a child. So Mo Lin finally agreed. Later on, he actually felt glad the kid knew, since Qin Yue was the absolute sharpest weapon to destroy Qin Wuyan. A father's own flesh and blood becoming the ultimate weapon to destroy him. To Mo Lin, the fact that a man's own child became his killer is just incredibly entertaining. But he never expected Qin Wuyan to die quite so quickly, let alone bring all that bad luck to his wedding. Honestly, it is a blessing in disguise. Now he never has to waste any more energy plotting against Qin Wuyan.
Forget the system, too. All he has to do now is keep the kid in check.
His future looks incredibly bright. Shushing the kid, he tells him to keep it down. Softening his tone, Mo Lin whispers that no one would ever believe there is a system. Hearing this, Qin Yue's crying stops dead in its tracks as the chilling reality finally sinks in. His eyes fill with a mix of strange dread and absolute despair, looking like a wounded animal abandoned by the world. Left all alone in this cold world, our ghost MC floats right over to him. He tries to comfort his son, but his hands just pass right through him. Even though Qin Wuyan is currently just a ghost, seeing his daughter Yeye brings him a crushing ache. The pain is real. Late that night, Liu Ruyan finally brings little Qin Yue back home. Mo Lin tags along with them. The driver silently keeps his eyes on the road. Exhausted from crying, Yue falls asleep cradled by her mother. Mo Lin hesitates to speak. Ruyan just keeps her eyes shut, clearly wanting to be left completely alone. Once they pull up, Mo Lin stands at the door, watching Ruyan carry the sleeping girl inside. Ruyan quietly tells her to come inside, and a sneaky flash of satisfaction crosses the eyes of Mo Lin. She follows her inside. The nanny gently takes Yue from Ruyan to carry her upstairs.
With just the two of them left in the living room, Mo Lin immediately apologizes, claiming she never wanted this tragedy. Mo Lin speaks first, muttering that the mission was already supposed to be completely over.
Ruyan collapses. Rubbing her temples, she feels the massive weight of everything. Mo Lin sighs, saying this whole disaster has been way too much of a blow for little Yu Yu.
The poor kid literally thinks they killed Qin Wuyan.
But since the mission was done, Mo Lin suggests that maybe his sudden death was just a tragic coincidence. Ruyan closes her eyes, whispering that Qin Wuyan had a brief, strange lapse right before the divorce.
They suspected the system, but ignored it.
They still went ahead and laid their cards on the table, which makes Mo Lin pause in surprise. Mo Lin argues that Yue Yue is fine. A system punishment would have hurt the child too. Hearing that, Ruyan covers her eyes. Her mind is racing with pure guilt. She cries out that she does not know why. She just desperately wanted to escape the control of the system. She just wanted to make one free choice of her own, and she only did it this once. And yet, he died. Seeing her breakdown, Mo Lin moves closer. She gently tries to hold the hand of Ruyan, softly telling her not to blame herself so much. Mo Lin insists it was probably just a coincidence, but Ruyan slowly drops her hands with a hollow look. A bitter smile forms as her tears stream down. How is that even possible? She reveals to Mo Lin that she watched the wedding surveillance and the footage is crystal clear. Qin Wuyan sat in his seat the entire time, meaning he could not have gone to get that ring. Mo Lin stays silent. Even the ghost of Qin Wuyan is totally shocked. Our boy never expected Ruyan to actually check the security cameras, thinking she would just blame him instantly for all of this. But what did she mean by making a free choice? He really cannot wrap his head around it. He only ever told her that he was the one getting punished. It had absolutely nothing to do with her, especially since Ruyan has always been fiercely independent. She is not the type to let emotions tie her down, which is why he always assumed something else. He thought she stayed because she loved him. Now, the truth is coming out. She is saying all those past choices were forced on her because real love should be voluntary. But feeling forced means she did not want it, leaving him completely lost. He asks his system if it can check her favorability, and the system quickly replies that in principle it is forbidden.
But under the table, out of 100, she actually has a massive 99 favorability score for him.
He just laughs. There is no way she has a 99 score.
The system goes completely silent.
It finally explains that this is exactly why real humans are needed to live out these stories firsthand.
Human emotions are just too complex, and even the most advanced AI can never fully decode them. He deflates. Then, a sudden realization hits. He finally starts to understand her perspective, remembering how she has always been a proud, confident woman. Yet she fell for a guy bound by a system, forced to play a scripted part by her side.
On one hand, Qin Wuyan wanted to follow his heart and stay with his loved one.
But on the other hand, his pride told him this kind of desperate, choiceless love was meaningless. He despised it because Liu Ruyan wanted to love him but constantly fought against it. Bro, this is actually so toxic and incredibly painful. Late that night, even though Mo Lin kept begging to stay by her side, Liu Ruyan still forced him to leave, sitting alone in the silent living room for a while. Eventually, she walked upstairs to Qin Wei's room, which was the exact place she argued with Qin Wuyan just 3 days ago. But now that he was dead, she approached the bed only to find it completely empty.
She called the nanny over only to find out that little Qin Yue
absolutely refused to sleep in this room because the poor girl felt deeply guilty. She honestly believed she made Qin Wuyan sad by speaking ill of him in that very spot, causing him to leave. The nanny whispered that the little girl had gone to sleep in Qin Wuyan's room instead. So Liu Ruyan headed over to Qin Wuyan's room, a place she barely ever looked at before. It was the middle of the night and the room was pitch black. Yet in the darkness, everything became painfully clear, like the glass of water on the nightstand. The slightly open drawer and his tie still hanging over the back of the chair. Everything was still right there, yet Qin Wuyan was gone. How could he just ruthlessly leave this world behind and abandon her like this? She wanted to scream in rage and smash everything to pieces. anything to escape her own growing panic, but she just silently walked over to the bed. She looked at the sleeping Qin Yue and gently kissed her soft cheek.
Tucking the girl in, she realized she never deserved him. She brought this on herself.
Her pride had built a massive wall, and though she seriously hated to admit it, she had to confess she loved Qin Wuyan and was actually the one living in fear. She was always terrified he would leave her once the system restrictions disappeared, so she struck first to protect her ego.
She desperately wanted to test his reaction, but she never expected him to actually not care about her anymore.
He agreed to the divorce instantly, so in a fit of rage, she announced her wedding to Mo Lin. When Qin Wuyan actually showed up at the wedding, it made her absolutely furious. So she held Mo Lin's hand and wrapped her arms tightly around his waist. She passionately kissed Mo Lin, even vowing to grow old together just to hurt Qin Wuyan. The entire time, she knew Qin Wuyan was watching her, with his eyes locked tightly onto her every move. She kept putting on a smug show until she noticed his face turn completely pale. His eyes went entirely lifeless, and right then, she realized she had deeply messed up.
It was a horrific mistake, but her massive ego wouldn't let her back down first. Deep down, she knew there was no way Qin Wuyan would ever actually steal that ring.
But she couldn't just stand on that stage anymore, so she used it to step down.
She wanted to force him to confess his true feelings so she could use that excuse to end this painful drama.
But once again, she completely ruined it, choosing the absolute worst and most toxic way to force his hand. Now, Qin Yuyan was dead because of her endless testing and manipulation. All the constant emotional damage finally pushed things past the point of no return. She was drowning in pure regret, driving herself absolutely insane. But there was nobody left to hear her confess, and nobody to forgive her.
Standing quietly by the floor-to-ceiling window in Qin Wuyan's room, she stared outside into the darkness.
From this exact spot, she could see the front gate, the garden, and the fountain.
He had placed a lounge chair right by the glass, and now she slowly lay down.
It is actually super comfortable, but she can't find any joy in it now. The view outside is just average, with absolutely nothing special to look at. Plus, the lounge chair is not even facing the garden or the fountain.
Instead, it directly faces the front gate. What is even there to look at?
As Liu Ruyan slowly sways in the chair, what could she possibly be watching?
She was waiting to see him come home. Late at night, our main character watches Qin Yue.
He stubbornly insists on sleeping in the main character's bed while Liu Ruyan constantly paces the room. She finally falls asleep in his favorite lounge chair. Honestly, the irony here is so painful. They never stepped foot in his room before, but now that he's dead, they suddenly show up. Even the system cannot comprehend this weird behavior, trying to analyze it for ages. It literally starts buzzing like a short circuit, so the main character tells it to just rest. "Stop analyzing," he says helplessly. "Is the exit channel to the real world ready yet?" "Almost," the system replies, "but once you leave, you can never return to this world."
He gives a soft nod and asks if this entire virtual world will just disappear.
The system starts analyzing again. Because the mission failed, this world has to be reset. However, the system first needs to run some investigations due to all the glitches, and submit an official upgrade request based on these anomalies, meaning there is some time left. So the world will temporarily exist for a bit. Our main character floats over to Liu Ruyan. He quietly stares at her face, realizing that after 8 long years, he actually did not understand her at all. A complete and total failure on his part.
He still has no idea what her so-called 99% love for him even meant.
With a heavy sigh, he floats over to stand beside his daughter, Qin Yue.
Little Qin Yue is sleeping so restlessly, probably trapped in some horrible nightmare. Her tiny brow is completely furrowed, and her lips are pressed tightly together.
He desperately wants to smooth her worried brow, but his hands just pass right through. Leaning close to her ear, he gently whispers that Yue is just a child. It is totally okay to be scared of your father. He does not blame you. You will always be my precious daughter. Hearing this, even the cold system goes silent. The main character just drifts aimlessly around the room, staring blankly at Liu Ruyan. He keeps watching Qin Yue in a complete daze. Then, a few hours later, The system suddenly alerts him that the exit portal is ready, so he takes one final look around. "Let's go," he says. Now, 1 year later in the real world, he barely even remembers that virtual world. His daily routine now is just managing his company and playing with his sweet daughter. He bickers with his real wife, living a life no different from any normal family. Just a simple, peaceful life. But honestly, there is a quiet happiness in the mundane. And because he gave that glitchy system a 5-star review back then, it actually sends him some random perks in the real world, and these rewards translate into minor, everyday boosts that make his real life just a bit easier. Like running into a major client by pure luck and landing a massive deal. Or just staying perfectly healthy, it is honestly such a sweet little bonus. Even though he tries his best to stay focused on reality, his mind still drifts. He still remembers Liu Ruyan and Qin Yue. That whole experience feels like a dream he cannot wake from. It was both so real and yet so fake, totally shifting how he views love and life. Making him cherish his family and the present so much more, maybe. This was the final gift that virtual world ever gave him on some quiet, warm afternoon. So our MC, Qin Wuyan, is just chilling on his apartment balcony when the system suddenly pops back into his mind. It announces that the investigation is officially over, and that toxic world is about to disappear forever. Qin Wuyan opens his eyes and just gives a quiet, indifferent nod. But after a brief pause, he asks how they are doing, making the system go silent for a second. The system admits that while it shouldn't reveal anything, his ex, Liu Ruyan, literally used every dirty trick possible.
She kicked her green tea boy Mo Lin out of the country, and they haven't met once in 3 years. Since then, she hasn't let another man get close to her, spending all her time working and raising Qin Yue. Oh, and she constantly burns paper money at his grave, which almost makes our boy choke on his own spit. The system keeps going, mentioning that Qin Yue was absolutely devastated for a really long time. He couldn't let go of the guilt, and it took him a whole year to finally accept that the MC was gone. Now he's trying to live normally, and just like Liu Ruyan, he completely refuses to ever see Mo Lin again. He is just too terrified to visit Qin Wuyan's grave, genuinely believing his own actions are what killed him. Left with nothing but shame, he can't face him while the MC just sighs deeply. As for Mo Lin, the system calmly explains that he tried absolutely everything to sneak back into the country. But Liu Ruyan had hired thugs watching him constantly, ready to kidnap or knock him out if he tried. Basically, he's permanently banned from returning, leaving our MC sitting there in complete, heavy silence. After a while, the system says that Liu Ruyan actually had a whole lot she wanted to tell him. She wrote down all her feelings in letters and burned them for him, asking if he wants to read them. It is filled with details of her deep love, but Qin Wuyan instantly rejects the offer without a single thought. This leaves the system completely baffled, asking why he isn't even a little curious about why she treated him so badly. Doesn't he want to know why she chose to conspire with Mo Lin and betray him like that? Or what her 99% love actually looked like? But the MC just shakes his head, confusing the system further. The system mutters that human emotions are so weird, since it assumed Liu Ruyan never loved him. Yet she actually did, and it also thought the MC would feel bitter and want some real closure. It expected him to demand a clear answer, but instead, he couldn't care less about any of it. The system calls it utterly bizarre, but our boy just gives a calm, satisfying shrug. He asks what is so strange about that, prompting the system to ask why he doesn't need that answer. Qin Wuyan gathers his thoughts and explains that to an artificial intelligence, the most important things are definitions and judgments. But humans are not purely logical machines. We are emotional creatures who feel things deeply. He admits he has no idea what was going through Liu Ruyan's head or how she supposedly loved him. But back in that world, the cold neglect and agonizing pain he felt were as real as it gets. And because of that, he already has his final answer. Whatever she felt, it was not love. At least, it was never the kind of love he wanted, and since it doesn't fit his needs, he can easily let it go, because why waste time proving the value of something you don't even want? It is really that simple, he says, leaving the system quiet for a very long time. Finally, it speaks up, saying love should just be love, and not loving should be just that.
It confesses it still doesn't get it, making Qin Wuyan smile and explain that love should first bring happiness, even if he went out of his way to prove that Liu Ruyan genuinely did love him. He was still deeply miserable, and he was hurting so bad that absolutely everyone could see he was unhappy.
In the end, does that kind of agonizing, painful love really fit the system's definition of the word?
The system lapses into silence once again, unable to counter his logic after his repeated rejections. It really wanted him to read those burned letters, seemingly fascinated by his unique emotional boundaries. But our boy refuses to budge even an inch, and eventually, the system just gives up trying. Still, it finds his complete lack of interest highly intriguing and incredibly worthy of further scientific study. So as a reward, the system promises to keep backing him up with some pretty useful perks down the line. Time starts flying by, and his life finally starts going exactly how he wants. Before he knows it, another year passes, and the system drops some massive news. It completed a massive upgrade, and with this new update, the system finally realized that his virtual persona, Qin Wuyan, was officially dead. But the real-world main character is still alive, and that heavy virtual baggage shouldn't be forced on him anymore. Honestly, the system actually apologizing? That is crazy.
It gives him insane bonus perks, making him worry he'll live to 200.
Fast forward a few years, the system is way too busy with other missions. It rarely pops up anymore, and he is honestly loving this peaceful, quiet life. One day, he's standing by his high-rise office window, looking out at the city. Suddenly, he spots a familiar figure across the street. It is Liu Ruyan. She is standing on the rooftop of the opposite building, looking straight toward him. In that exact moment, it finally clicks. See, in this real world, their roles have completely flipped. He is the successful CEO now, while she is stuck as the system host. Talk about a massive plot twist. He just smiles and walks away. Honestly, no matter which world it is, or what identity they hold, he finally gets the bigger picture here. True love is supposed to make both people happy, and right now, he has already found his own true happiness. Walking back to his desk, he texts his wife, telling her he is coming home early for family dinner. Setting his phone down, he smiles at the family photo on his desk. His heart is completely full. Seriously, life can be incredibly long, and yet so short at the same time. But as long as you cherish the people right in front of you and live in the moment, then absolutely every single day is worth living. What a perfect ending.